You recognize that noise, buddy?
What?
Friday the 13th. Will it come back? I found an article that substantiates my bias that the movie will. So here we go. This is coming to us from bloodydisgusting.com. It has now been a full 13 years since the release of the last Friday the 13th movie, with the franchise trapped in a messy legal battle ever since, which it continues on to say. But the basic gist is that Sean Cunningham, the original movie's director, and Victor Miller, the original movie's writer, have been fighting over who gets control of what assets. That said, it looks like something is happening very soon, as Sean Cunningham has updated his Cameo profile. His Cameo profile reads, which Sean Cunningham, yet again reminding you, that was the original movie's director. The profile reads, Sean S. Cunningham directed and produced the seminal horror film Friday the 13th, creating the iconic villain Jason Voorhees. The movie has spawned 12 installments with a 13th scheduled for next year. Okay.
Fuck yes.
So, if you guys didn't know this, and Marvel's going through the same thing right now with Stan Lee's estate and a couple of other comic book writers' estates, and it has to do with the overall rights to certain characters and the reverberation of rights. And essentially, the movie's original writer, Victor Miller, was suing the company that owned the rights to Friday the 13th, and he won. He won. I think the iteration of Jason that has the hockey mask is Victor Miller's independent property. Or it might be the other way around. Maybe the story itself is, but the hockey mask isn't. In other words, they own essentially halves of the character. One person owns the origin story, and the other person owns the iconic look and style of the character.
Okay.
Based on the fact that the films, obviously, I mean, Jason didn't put on his hockey mask till movie 3. Yeah. So that's something that came along later. So then, because of that insane lawsuit, it was looking like Friday the 13th as a sequel would never happen again. Because two different people own the properties. How do you come together when you were just in litigation over one of the other? But I think that maybe this is a sign that either they're going to try to make a Friday the 13th without its essential assets, or they're coming together in order to make a boatload of money because they see how much money movies like Halloween made. And especially since Halloween is about to end its re-franchise, which means it'll go away for a while. Mm-hmm. Who's going to dominate the bloody box office, baby? But your boy Jason.
The Michael Myers clone, yeah.
The Michael Myers clone. Coming from someone who's a large Friday the 13th fan.
I'm a Friday the 13th stan. I grew up on those ones. I didn't end up watching Halloween until much later on in my life. I think that one of the first horror movies I watched was Jason X. It wasn't good, but I was like, well, this is interesting. And then I went back and I just consumed all of that media.
To know that you started the franchise of Jason X and didn't walk away tells me that you're a mega fan.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, the worst one. Granted, it did have the cryogenic kill. That was
pulled through the vent out of the thing.
That was metal. That was metal. I'm not gonna lie.
There were some great kills.
There was some great kills.
There's some great kills in a lot of those old, those later Jason movies. Because it's like, fuck, some of that is rough to watch, but there's some interesting kills in there, and I enjoy it.
So, I just want to point out the fact that this is just a cameo profile of the original director. Could be totally unsubstantiated. Could be him just trolling, but we're horror fans, so we're going to try to latch on to anything we can, showing that Jason might make his return. Now, they're saying return. Let me just posit a question to you. If it did return, but it didn't have some of the assets you needed, let's say that he couldn't have the hockey mask, would you want it to return? And in what aspect would you want it to return? Would you want it to be like a mini series?
There have been a couple of times where the mask gets changed up or other things happen, and it's like, Jason, yes, you've got the and then you've got the hockey mask, and you've got kind of there are a couple iconic things, but there's still the soul of the character that undying. It's
I don't know if I agree, but go ahead.
There's a lot to love about the Jason franchise. It is your true blue classic summer camp slasher. And I love that. It's always so ridiculous and so just like the most like if you were to distill down the cultural zeitgeist version,
we have to do sleepaway camp now.
Yeah, what a slasher movie is. It is that classic, like they're at a summer camp and there's somebody going around and murdering them. It's what The Quarry is about. It's what like so many of the like go-to thought processes on slasher movies is that. And it's something that I love it because it's such a great way to constantly bring back and put in new characters and bring in old characters. And it's just fun.
But like, I just don't think that the movie's going to work without him looking the way he does. Like, I just think that people aren't, unless they do, like, if they did like an HBO series or like a streaming series where it's like, oh, we're going to show you the summer camp days where he like got drowned and everything, and then we redeveloped the story and now he looks different. Like, maybe I would accept that, like in the way that they kind of did with the Scream show, but maybe they could do it better, like actually good this time. But just like, you know, you can redesign the mask, but you have to reestablish the character. You can't just
kind of interested in some of the new, like the horror like mini series that have been dropping recently. So I wouldn't be opposed to that happening. And would he be the first large slasher to get a
no dude? Freddy had one in the 80s. Chucky has one right now.
Chucky has one right now.
Yeah, dude, it's on a, I think it's on a weird network too, like TBS or something.
That's fucking strange.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah.
No, there's tons of they've had slasher series for a long time.
No, I'm not talking about like the one for Freddy in the 80s. I meant like modern day. Like, are they doing some of the? Yeah.
They had the Exorcist show that came out. They had Hannibal.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
With the
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
So they do some of that.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see kind of like a revitalization of the character through that kind of lens. It could be interesting.
See, my thing, I didn't hate the 2009 remake with Jared Padalecki. A lot of people hate that one.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of boobies in it, and Michael Bay was attached, and that's probably why.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was pretty good. Like, I don't think it was as bad as everybody thought it was, and I don't know. I wanted them to more stick with that, maybe even do an elaboration on that, but it's been so long now. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't think they'd bring back Jared Padalecki for like a sequel to the remake that came out in 2009, but that's what I would want. So the fact that I'm not getting that kind of sours me to it a little bit. And then if on top of that there's no hockey mask, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Guys, obviously I'm willing to watch any Friday the 13th movie, any horror movie they're willing to put out, because like this is genre and horror and all these things are things that I'm really passionate about and I'm willing to give it a chance. But I am a little concerned and also wondering if this is even legitimate. Let us know in the comments if you guys think this is real. What are you looking up? What is it that I have to know what he's looking up.
I was looking up. I'm like, wait, shit, was Jared Padalecki wasn't one of the Fred? I totally forgot.
And it's a really good one.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not everybody feels that way.
I remember, like, as soon as it's like almost like a memory unlocked. I forgot that fucking movie happened, and I forgot Jared Padalecki was in it. I don't know if I just conflated that being an episode of Supernatural in my head, but yeah, it was just a weird thing. How I was like,
the
wait,
most
Jared
like high budget episode of fucking Super with no
like,
Dean.
Yeah, you know, no Dean or anything, and he's totally acting different.
That was
whatever.
That was during a break they did, and they both did re-franchised horror films.
Yeah.
So Jared Padalecki went into Friday the 13th, and then Jensen Ackles did My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
And he went and did that, and it was like, wow, Jared made out way better. Anyway. Guys, let us know down in the comments below what you think of the remake. If you think that these movies are going to come back based on this cameo, if you don't, if you want them to, if you don't want them to. I know a lot of horror fans are like, leave it in the past. It's finished and it's great. No. And the last movie, if you like the 2009 one, they ended on a good one. So, guys, let us know down in the comments below and make sure to subscribe. Peace out.